Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive.
Yeah.
This time we are diving into the world of online versus in-person CPAs.
Right.
Especially relevant because it's tax season.
It is.
And so many of you are probably thinking about this right now. Like,
For sure.
should I do my own taxes? Should I hire somebody?
Yeah.
Should I go online?
Mm-hmm.
Should I find a person?
Exactly.
So we found this great article called
Right. I read that one.
Using an Online CPA Service versus In-Person CPA for Taxes.
Yeah. It had some really good points.
I thought it was super interesting.
Yeah.
So, one of the first things that they jump into is
Okay.
tax complexity,
Right. Right. And
which kind of seems obvious.
Yeah.
But one of the things that they said that I thought was really interesting is sometimes the DIY approach of going online
Oh, yeah.
can actually be more expensive
Yes.
than an in-person CPA.
If you need to, upgrade to those premium packages for help.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I always thought that
Yeah.
going online was going to be the
cheaper option. Yeah. It can be.
Yeah.
If you have straightforward taxes,
Okay.
W-2s,
Right.
like a 1099 from your bank.
Yeah.
But if you start adding different layers of complexity,
Yeah.
then it gets pricey.
Okay. So what are some situations where
Okay.
it would make more sense
Okay.
to hire an in-person CPA?
Well, let's say you are a freelancer or independent contractor.
Right.
So you probably have 1099s from
Multiple different.
all these different clients,
Yeah.
and you are dealing with self-employment taxes,
Right.
deductions for your home office,
Right.
maybe even quarterly estimated payments.
Mm-hmm.
That's when an expert can really be helpful.
Okay. What about investments?
Yeah,
Because I know for me personally,
for sure.
I get a little lost with the whole
Uh-huh.
investments and how to do all that.
So if you're trading stocks,
Right.
or you have rental properties,
Right.
or you have investments in other countries, definitely an in-person CPA could be really helpful for that.
Okay.
And they can help you find deductions and credits that you might not know about.
So it's really about not just
Yeah.
your comfort level with technology,
Right.
but how complex
Right.
your finances are.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about complexity,
Okay.
but I think we have to talk about cost
Yeah, of course.
because that is really, for a lot of people,
a big one. Yeah,
the deciding factor.
absolutely.
So what did this article say about cost?
Well, they had this cost comparison table
Okay.
that highlighted that online option,
Like TurboTax?
yeah, like TurboTax and H&R Block,
Yeah.
can be free for very basic returns.
Okay.
But they can go up to almost $400 for those full service packages.
Wow.
And don't forget the state filing fees.
Right.
Those add up.
State ones, yeah. Those always get me too.
Yeah.
So then we've got the in-person CPAs.
Yes.
And I looked it up.
Yeah.
And according to the National Society of Accountants, it's on average for a basic return between $220 and $323.
And that's where things get interesting.
Yeah.
Because those online packages,
Yeah.
if you upgrade to those premium ones
Right.
with the access to CPAs,
Yeah.
it could be more expensive.
Okay.
So you really have to compare and not
Let's
just
assume that online is the
Right.
cheaper option.
don't just assume. Yeah.
So let's talk about convenience
Oh, okay.
because time is precious.
Absolutely.
And I know that that factors into people's decisions.
Yeah. So the in-person CPAs,
Yeah.
oftentimes they kind of offer that drop it off and forget it.
Oh, yeah. That's appealing.
Right.
For sure.
You gather your paperwork
Yeah.
and you let them deal with it.
Yeah. I like that.
But then online services require a little more effort.
Okay.
You have to do the scanning.
I hate scanning.
This is so much.
The uploading,
Yeah.
making sure everything's labeled correctly.
Yeah.
The formatting.
Yeah.
So for some people,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
But for others,
It's overwhelming. It can be really daunting. So again, it just depends on your comfort level with technology and how organized you are and
Yeah.
just how hands-on you want to be.
it's subjective.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. I'm curious, with technology advancing,
Yeah.
are we seeing a blur between online and in-person?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
And the article did talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
So there are these hybrid options starting to pop up
Okay.
where you get the expertise of a CPA,
Okay.
but you do it all through a virtual platform.
Oh, interesting.
So you're still getting that personalized advice,
Yeah.
but it's more convenient
Oh, wow.
because it's digital.
That's cool. I hadn't thought about that before.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so we got to talk about this. Was something that the article highlighted
Oh,
major life events.
yes.
Because those can really
throw a wrench in things.
Yeah, throw a wrench in your taxes.
Definitely.
Did you get married?
Did you get divorced?
Buy a house?
Have a baby?
Move?
Win the lottery?
Okay. Or on the other end of the spectrum,
Yeah.
maybe a job loss,
Yeah.
a death in the family, medical expenses.
Yeah.
I mean, these are all
Big things.
huge life events that are going to really impact your taxes.
And it might be more than you can handle with just a software package.
Okay.
You might need the personalized advice from a CPA.
And is that where the in-person CPA shines?
Yeah.
Because they can provide that personalized advice for your specific situation?
Exactly. They can look at your situation, figure out what deductions and credits you're eligible for, and make sure that you're making the best decisions.
So it's not even just about doing it correctly.
Yeah.
It's about saving money.
Absolutely.
Potentially.
Yeah. And avoiding mistakes.
And avoiding costly mistakes.
Which can be really expensive.
Yeah.
Especially when you've had these big life events.
Right. So it's almost like an in-person CPA.
Yeah.
Is like an advocate for you.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay, so we've covered tax complexity. We've covered the cost.
Yes.
We've covered convenience. We've covered these life events.
Yeah.
So what else
Okay.
should people be considering when they're making this decision between online versus in person?
Well, the article really emphasized that, personal finance is personal.
Right.
And there's no right or wrong answer. When it comes to choosing like online versus in person, it really depends on your specific needs and preferences.
Right. So just because your friend is like, oh, I did this online thing and it was so cheap and easy.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that it's the right
It might not be right for you.
thing for you.
Yeah.
And I think also what's important to remember is your situation could change.
Oh, for sure.
From year to year.
Absolutely.
So maybe last year you were, single, renting an apartment.
Yeah.
And then this year you got married.
You bought a house.
You bought a house.
You had a baby.
You had a baby.
Yeah.
So you might need to
change it up.
Switch it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So somebody's listening to this right now.
Okay.
And they're still not sure.
Yeah.
What do they do?
Well, if you're on the fence,
Okay.
don't be afraid to reach out and get more information.
Okay.
You can reach out to both online services and local CPAs.
Yeah.
And a lot of them will do like free consultations.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Right.
Yeah.
So that can be really helpful.
So it's almost like a test drive.
It's like a test drive, yeah.
Okay.
So you can get a feel for, their communication style.
Right.
Ask about their experience with situations like yours.
Yeah.
And just see if you feel comfortable with them.
Yeah. See if it's a good fit.
Yeah.
It's like finding a doctor.
It is.
Yeah.
Like you want to make sure that you're comfortable.
Right. You want to make sure that you...
And that you trust them.
Yeah, trust them.
Exactly.
And that you feel like they're going to have your best interest at heart.
Yeah. And remember, you don't have to choose the first one you talk to.
That's a good point.
Yeah. You can shop around.
Yeah.
Talk to a few different people.
Yeah. Do your research.
Do your research and then choose what feels right.
And don't feel rushed.
Yes. Don't feel rushed.
I think there's this urgency with tax season.
Yeah. You want to get it done.
Like, oh my God, I'm done like yesterday.
Take your time.
But yeah, take your time.
Yeah. It'll be okay.
And actually, I think that would probably reduce stress.
It will.
Overall.
For sure.
Because if you feel good about the person or the service that you're choosing, that's
you're
going
to feel better about the whole process.
Make you feel better about everything.
Exactly.
Okay, so we covered a lot here.
Yeah.
We talked about tax complexity.
Yeah.
We talked about the differences in costs between online and in person, the convenience, the impact of life events.
Yeah.
We even talked about these hybrid options.
Yeah.
So what are some key takeaways for our listeners to keep in mind?
Well, first of all,
yeah,
there's no right or wrong answer.
Right.
It really just comes down to your individual needs.
Like we've been saying, it's personal.
Exactly. And then secondly, remember that your tax situation can change.
Yes.
From year to year.
Right.
So don't be afraid to switch it up.
So it's not a lifetime commitment.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then finally, don't underestimate the value of personalized advice.
Yeah.
Especially if you're dealing with a more complicated tax situation.
Yeah.
Or you've had these major life events.
Right.
It's really worth it.
Yeah.
To get that advice from a professional.
Yeah. Like that peace of mind.
Yeah.
Is worth.
It's an investment.
It's an investment.
In your financial well-being.
Yeah. And it can save you money.
Time. Money.
Time.
Money and stress.
And stress. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like having a guide.
It is to lead you through the wilderness
right.
taxes.
Exactly.
And on that note,
Yeah.
I think we're ready to wrap up our deep dive.
Right.
But before we do that, I want to leave our listeners with this.
Oh.
If you're really on the fence,
Yeah.
why not reach out to both?
Okay.
Like an online service
Yeah.
and an in-person CPA.
Okay.
And get consultations from both.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Right.
Yeah, like a second opinion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It might take a little extra time.
Yeah.
But it could save you a lot of headaches.
Headaches and money.
And money, yeah, in the long run.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
sometimes just talking through things
Yes.
with an expert,
Exactly.
even if it's brief,
Mm-hmm.
can really
Help you figure out
help you figure out
what you need.
which way to go.
Yeah.
So it's not just about
Yeah.
getting your taxes filed.
Right.
It's about feeling good
Yeah.
about your decisions.
Feeling confident in your decisions.
Exactly.
Well, I think that's a perfect
Yeah.
note to end on.
Awesome.
So many different factors to consider.
There are.
But hopefully,
Yes.
this has given our listeners the information,
The tool.
the tools to make that decision.
Exactly.
That's right, for them.
Yeah. And remember,
Yeah.
no matter what you choose,
Mm-hmm.
tax season will pass.
Tax season always passes.
It does.
It always does.
You got this.
You got this. All right. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
We'll see you next time.
See ya.